woman who promised a black angel. My people, come close, let me tell you a story that will hold your heart like a hand, and refuse to let it go until the last word is spoken. There was once a young woman called Amoka. She was 28 years old, her face was soft, her heart was kind, and her smile could heal wounds, but her life was full of pain and tears. She wore her simple wrapper and blouse every day, and walked with humility. She loved people, she respected everyone, but her life was covered with shame. She married Okeke, a man of 40 years. Okeke was strong and proud. He tied his red wrapper around his waist, he placed his red cap on his head, and he walked with the dignity of an elder. When Amoka first entered his home, the compound was filled with joy. People danced, people sang, and they said, "At last, Okeke has found a good wife." Amoka cooked for him, she washed his clothes, she swept the compound, she poured water for him to wash his hands, she honored his family, she bowed before elders, and they all praised her. They called her the jewel of the home. But time is a river that does not wait for anyone. Soon the days became months, and the months became years, and still Amoka's womb was silent. No cry of a baby. No little feet running on the floor. No voice calling her mother. At first, Okeke was patient. He touched her shoulder and told her it would be well. But after 3 years, the whispers began. Women in the village laughed behind her back. Some shouted to her face. They said, "Amoka is a dry tree. What use is a woman without a child?" Even her own family, who once carried her high, now turned their faces from her. Amoka's nights were full of tears. She knelt on the floor, she prayed, she cried, she lifted her hands to heaven, but the silence of her womb remained. She stopped going to meetings because the insults were too heavy. She walked in the market and people mocked her. Children even threw stones and sang songs of shame. Okeke's heart became bitter. He stopped calling her sweet names. His eyes grew cold. He began to sleep in another room. Sometimes he shouted at her, saying, "You are the reason my name will not continue." Amoka would kneel before him, crying, saying, "Forgive me, my husband," but his heart was already far. One night, when the moon was bright and the world was quiet, Amoka went outside. She sat under the old mango tree behind her hut. She placed her face in her hands and wept. She wept like the river. She wept until her voice became a